Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another NCE League broadcast. Give myself a moment here. All right. There we go. Get some people in here in a little bit. So, yeah, Losers Final. We would have liked to cast a lot more for the Major 1 tournament, but unfortunately, some of the times didn't pan out exactly how we wanted to early on in the week, and it is what it is. But we're glad to be here on this nice Friday evening. So first off, I think we should take a look at the teams. First up, the Eternals and the Minnesota Dragons. So yeah, give me one moment. I forgot to go ahead and mute myself in Discord. All right, let's take a look at their roster. They got Rose, Rob, Veneli, and Karna. Karna is not going to be playing tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see who they got as their substitute. All right, there we go. Yeah, second team, New York Kings, outgoing esports organization, or team. Sorry. Let's look at their roster. They got Munchkis. Vengeance, I don't believe, has been on their roster for a while now. Brian Season. I'm just going to call him Brian. And Blurs, also known as Loading. So, yeah, both these teams are really solid. Both took their first loss against Pittsburgh Stormwolves actually the other night. So, excited to see who can get back to the rematch and take the win. Let's take a look at a few stats here. Probably should have started this much later because I don't know if I got as much filler for you guys tonight. Well, that's besides the point. Let's take a look at some of the maps and modes we'll be going into for this series. We got an Invasion Hardpoint, Skidrow Search and Destroy, Invasion Control, Terminal Hardpoint, and Karachi Search and Destroy. Overall, you look at these maps, I think it's a pretty solid map set. Personally, I don't mind it. It's going to be a little interesting to see. I should have what these teams have on each of these maps. So, if you take a look at Minnesota, they're 1-1 on Invasion, 2-0 on Skid Row Search, 3-1 on Invasion Control, and they have yet to play Terminal in the league. Karachi 1-1. New York side, Invasion, they're 2-0, Hardpoint. 1 win on Skid Row, also 3-1 on the Control, and have not played Terminal. A lot of teams haven't played Terminal. I think it's the usual map 4, and a lot of teams haven't went that far quite yet. So then you have Karachi to end it out. They are 2-0. So solid, pretty solid all the way around on that. Not much to go off there. Now we take a look at the overall game mode records here. These teams have yet to play each other, so as far as that goes, it's 0-0. Tonight will be their first matchup. 5-3 in Hardpoint for the New York Kings, 6-2 for the Dragons. A perfect 6-0 S&D for the Kings. That really is their strong suit game mode there. 3-2 on the side of Dragons. Excuse me. 5-1 Control for Kings. 4-1 for the Dragons. So, yeah, I mean, you take a look at this, and I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot. These teams are going to be pretty close. The biggest difference is that Search and Destroy. So it's going to be interesting to see what of that, who comes out hot in that. They both, I believe, took a search against Stormwolves and lost every other thing as far as that's concerned. But we're not talking about them tonight. Man, I gotta cast more often. It is alarmingly difficult to get back into the caster mindset, but we're gonna get there eventually. These two teams, head to head, New York Kings league rank is number 1 going into the tournament. Other than wins, most of this was going into the tournament. Dragons number 3 going into the tournament. 6 wins, 5 wins overall. Kings been in the losers bracket longer. Points are tied up at 30. 1.02 team KD for the Kings, 1.22 on the side of Minnesota. Map wins are knotted up at 16. Both of these teams are really solid. Of course, there's always sometimes we don't get the stats. So I'd say the KDs for the Kings a little higher than is listed here, but we did not get the stats from their 3-0 of LA Glitch the last night. So excited to see what we got going on here. And yeah, it's Major 1. We've had a long journey to get here. So we thank you guys if you tuned in and stuck around for it all, because it's been a fun journey. Personally, like to see how these teams have competed, and I'm really eager to see which of these two teams can give Stormwolves a run for the Major 1 trophy. We don't have an actual trophy, but you know what I mean. The metaphorical trophy. Whew, I think I ran through that way faster. It's with a duo. Let me see if anyone's in the caster call. With a duo, you have a little more back and forth, so it takes a lot longer to get through stuff. So yeah, I think, what are we looking at here? I think I'm gonna send you guys to break until I get my till I get into the lobby, and then we'll come back out. Talk a little bit about the maps. I want to talk a bit about the players to watch for the series as well. That's all coming to you right after the break, so stay tuned. see the graphics. Let's. All right. I'm gonna be going through the players to watch. So for the side of the New York Kings, we have Blur slash Loading. I don't know why he has two different names. He's got a 1.07 overall KD, 1.05 respawn KD, and a 1.24 S&D KD. So not terrible on that front. For the Minnesota Dragons, we have Ventilate. His overall KD is a 1.15, 1.16 in respawn, and a 1.05 in S&D. So yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna see that the S&D is gonna be a bit of a struggle for the side of Minnesota if there is any place for them to struggle. With me on the broadcast now is I believe Eternals. You are the owner or what? I don't want to get that
Yes,
wrong.
I
So.
am. I am one of the three owners of the Eternals organization.
Okay. Yeah, so he's going to be joining me here on the broadcast. Hopefully we get in there pretty soon. I mean, I don't know how much. What we got? 4 minutes of match time. So hopefully it's not a long delay like some of these matches have been. You just never know. It's either a COD lobby issue or it's players not on time issue. I don't know if you got any information on that. So, but yeah, we're just sitting here chilling. Are you? Did you see the maps and modes yet, or no?
No, I've not got to see those yet.
Yeah, so it is Invasion Hardpoint for map 1, Skidrow for map 2, and then Invasion Terminal Karachi. So, you guys, for us, have never played Terminal. Do you know if that's a good map for them, bad map, or are you still not sure on that?
So for Terminal, so far I know that there's been a lot of ups and downs as for every team that I've seen play, but
Yeah.
I'm, so I can definitely say, Terminal is not up there for them, but they can definitely still hold their own on Terminal from what I've seen so far on any scrims that I've watched from them.
Yeah, and I mean, the good news is New York also has not played it in the league. Who knows how they've been doing in scrims and stuff on it. I know a lot of teams they don't hate it, but especially when you get such drastic hill changes this late in the game, it's a little dicey. So I see why a lot of
Yeah.
teams don't want to play it.
Yeah, I mean, especially like, the hills are kind of like that whole hill switch, with the P1 going in the library and everything. That's, some of these are very one sided hills.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, every map, if you have spawn advantage, you guys can always get up on points, but Terminal, there's not really that type of quality just because, there's one sided, if you spawn at security, they're pretty much like guaranteed P1 for at least almost the full minute. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the only downfall I see to the start of Terminal, just because it starts to beat up some moral compasses and everything with the other team, just because it's like such an unfair advantage.
Yeah. I've noticed with a lot of hard points too, it seems like there's a lot of money hills compared to I mean, there's always been money hills in COD, but what I've noticed is you can chain two hills together and go up big really quick, or if you're up, you can lose your lead pretty quick. So it's one thing we'll have to watch out for tonight because I know both these teams are really solid at hardpoint, so I don't know how they're gonna
Yeah.
play against each other.
And it's kind of funny that you say that, because last night it was actually one of those interesting moments. The Dragons were actually up 220, I think it was 232 actually, to 197, and they ended up coming back, and the Wolves came back and ended up beating the Dragons on that first map.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it a little bit. I've seen a lot of control comebacks as well. I think this game is very streaky in a lot of senses. Whoever's up kind of seems to stay up. unless stuff starts going bad, and then it's easy to kind of lose it. It's an interesting game, especially after last game. I wouldn't say it was like the slowest Call of Duty we've played, but it definitely had a different kind of pace to it compared to this one.
Yeah, as somebody that played in the actual Challengers tournament last year, I can definitely say it was definitely one of the slower Call of Duties that I myself have played in. It was very, very. I don't even know how to really describe it other than, like you said, just slow. I mean, I was trying to think of another word for it, but the gameplay was just like, just take it back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, and it was slow, but I think the low health, only being at 100, made it a little more interesting because from our experience when we were playing last year, it seemed like you died so fast that yes, it was slow paced, but everything changed a lot. Like you could hold a hill pretty easily, but
yeah,
the health just made it really odd because you could die so fast in that game.
yep.
I don't know if it played very traditional in most senses.
Yeah, I mean that was the biggest thing that I know that they wanted to change up is they wanted everything to be a lot slower play just when it came to it, just because all the other Call of Duties people tend to play super fast and it's just back and forth, which
Mhm.
a lot of a lot of like watchers enjoy that. But the
Mhm.
problem was when they mess with those mechanics and made the game so much slower,
Right.
it just kind of tended to like take away from like the shock and awe factor of people fighting on a hill or people fighting around hill,
Right.
because if you got the first shot you were automatically on, whereas like NW3 for example, you get first shot you can still get turned on and still
Yeah,
lose a
yeah.
gunfight.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite parts of COD in a lot of ways. I think Vanguard was one of my favorite ones to watch. It was just so other than the Bloom, which was I mean, pretty obviously garbage. It was one of the better games to watch. I think it was paced well. Some of the maps were but we never have good maps, so I think that that's just something we live with these days. And yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's also crazy that they just, I mean, I enjoy the old maps, don't get me wrong, but like for the competitive aspect, I wish that they had created and went through a whole different route just for comp maps, just because,
yeah,
like all the older maps are like recycled, been through twice, most of them already or more, depending on, like rust or shipment or anything like that. But I just wish that they had like a lot more selection for comp gameplay in terms of just only maps for comp.
yeah. I think that it wouldn't hurt. It probably save them a lot of work down the line because it tends for us to just be waiting for some DLC maps to figure it out. And I think if they just spent a few resources, gave us like 5 solid comp maps, that would help them out. Because I mean, not naturally the pub maps, one or two of them will be good enough to play comp, but
Yeah, definitely.
it's just very exhausting to have to wait around for that. And I mean, speaking of waiting around, we're still waiting for a code. I was gonna look at some of these hardpoint stats. So as I said, Minnesota is 6-2. Kings are 5-3. Minnesota's got a 1.15 KD in hardpoint, and Kings have a 0.95. The average point margin is plus 97 for Dragons, which is pretty solid. I mean, for Kings, it's a little tighter. It's a point plus 16. So, I mean, if you take a look at it, I guess I give the edge to Dragons in the hard points. At least this first one. I'm expecting them to come out strong, and I kind of think they're going to need it with the experience for Kings and Search. But I mean, you know these guys better than I do as far as their Search play. Do you know? I mean, they haven't struggled in Search by any means, but against like the top teams, I think are their 2 Search losses. What do you think is the biggest issue there?
So originally, so before we brought the sub Hayden in, we had that little swap around of Cardinal onto the back for the rest of Major One, and then bringing Hayden up to the main four. So before that, I just feel like they were playing like just a little bit too fast, and they were just kind of getting taken off in numbers. You know, it would be if one body dropped, you would see three on the board, and that was one of the issues that just kept arising over and over again. And they never had a way to like fully combat that. You know, they just wanted to play just a little faster than what they needed to. But with Hayden coming in, as we saw last night, I believe this was Hayden's first search with them or second search. I cannot recall. I think this might have actually been the second search. Hayden coming into this team for search and destroy was a really good thing. Hayden had a lot of cleanups and clutches that he had. He probably pulled off at least four clutch ups within 4 rounds of each other. Like if the Dragons were losing, Hayden would just come in and just mop up three people, and it happened more than once last night. And the fact that they pulled off that win on that search and destroy just that way was actually very crazy to watch and actually like very entertaining.
Yeah, I think I saw some that it's that what he went like 16, maybe 15-7, something like that. When I was doing
Yeah,
stats earlier, so I
yeah.
mean
Hayden is
that's
definitely
absolutely
our
absurd.
search and destroy player now for sure.
Yeah, that's an absurd stat line. So if he can step it up for you guys in that, um, I think that like you said, this is only gonna be the second one. Yeah, Karna is in chat. What
Yeah, what's
happened
up,
to
Connor?
what happened to Karna again? Because I was running these our player to watch here, and I was gonna put him because he's got the highest KD, but then he said he wasn't playing tonight. Um,
Yeah, so he stepped back for the rest of Major One.
oh, okay.
You know, so he stayed on the sub line just because I'm if I'm not mistaken, he intends on like separating from the roster after Major One, but he wanted to stay here. He still supports the bullies and everything. So, and I'm glad to have you guys here in chat. Rose, Karna, I both see you guys. Hope you guys are having a good night, and hope you guys. I want to wish you guys good luck tonight as well. Um, but yeah, um, so that's kind of what happened with Karna. But Hayden stepping up and filling that role. Big thanks to him as well for taking that role as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's always tough to step into a team that's doing so well mid tournament, because you kind of are expected to fit the missing rule instead of playing more traditionally how you would naturally. So, big props to him for stepping in, and yeah. I think we're in a lobby. We're not fully set to go yet, though. We're still waiting on New York and never mind. Rob/Graph is in here. It's always interesting for me between the names that are listed and then the names actually that end up in the game of who's who.
Yeah, it is kind of a funny thing. Because like for Karna, he was actually psychic, I believe, in game.
Yeah,
And then so Hayden will come to play tonight. I can promise that. That's what Karna said in chat.
yeah,
Like we were just talking about Karna. I don't know if you heard any of that, but pretty much, all last night Hayden was definitely stepping up to the plate in that search and destroy game. He tried his best in hard point for sure. If they come to play tonight, I think that they can have. This is going to be some very close games, like I said.
yeah. Do we know if Codcaster's fixed? I believe last time I did it, it was fixed. So Team One's actually Team One, but
Yeah,
you never
so
know. They
that
run
was
updates all the time. It's so aggravating.
yeah. Well, it confused me last night because like I remember like Team One was actually Bravo and Team Two was like
Yeah, and then
Alpha,
I think they fixed
and
it like halfway
yeah,
through. Yeah,
yeah. So like the first day that we did it, it like glitched out and it was backwards. Hey Vexy, what's going on? Happy to see you in chat. Thank you for coming in and supporting. Make sure you drop a sub over on NC and props to him and thank you for allowing me to come in and co-cast with him tonight as well.
yeah, no problem. It's always easier to have somebody else to talk to. Um, Sometimes when you're just rambling on as yourself, it's like, oh my gosh, what am I talking about?
From believe me, for someone that was a full time creator for 1 year, I get that 100%. Starting, with zero, just starting with like 1, 2 viewers all the time, just talking to yourself, just
Keep
preparing yourself
talking.
for
Yeah.
the next steps.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, we're one player off.
Vexy, you're playing Power World, my guy. Hey, bro, make sure you stay on. I'll come through after we're done.
One more player, and we're gonna get ready to go. Invasion Hardpoint is interesting now with the new hills because it's a little harder to chain a bunch together. Um, I think that
Yeah,
I think it plays better though overall because that back
yeah,
palace hill was
definitely.
so hard to watch. I mean,
Yeah. It was also crazy to me. I don't know if you watched it. I mean, I would assume that you watched some of the CDL
oh
games
yeah,
today.
yeah for sure.
So the fact that I didn't notice it until actually earlier today, which I should have probably picked up on yesterday, is the fact that they're still using the old hills. I don't know if you noticed that or not,
Yeah,
but
yeah, because they don't like changing. They don't change updates when they're mid thing. So
it's easy. Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty interesting. So I mean, at
So I
least
would assume after this major is when they would change or
right,
no?
yeah. After
Yeah.
this major, they will, which will be good
Oh,
because I
well,
can
Jay
actually
was also
see
on
how
the other channel.
I can actually see how they're getting it how they're getting it done out there because some of these hills I'm like, how are they holding this? You know, because the pros haven't really
Yeah.
played it. I've been watching some ranked from some people, but yeah, ranked is a violent game out there these days. I tell you that. I played 3 iridescents that were in rank gold today, and I was like, "This is not fun. Please rank up. Get away from me. You don't
Man,
belong here."
the ranking system right now is so jacked up. It's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah. I feel like if you're iridescent the year before, you should at least start a little higher than you know.
Yeah, I mean, like we were talking about, me and two other people in Eternals, we were talking about having like Valorant where you have placement games or like,
Right? Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because like some people's skill level way higher than others, and all you're doing is just, it's
Pulling
not
it.
even
Yeah.
like fun for some people because it's just
Mm-hmm.
blowouts all the time. Like
Right.
if you were iridescent last game, you're probably gonna be iridescent this game, right? So go ahead, play your placement match, get placed higher because obviously all you're gonna do is just shit on the bronze that you're playing with on the other team.
Right, and especially when you got like you've you had that in Cold War, but you had no SR. Why not just merge the two systems? And I think you'd have a pretty perfect setup. That way, you're playing your, you know, 4, 5 placement games, whatever they want it to be, and then once you get in there, you'll be good to go. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
COD makes things a lot harder than it has to be.
I mean, they try to be the next biggest game, but as we can tell from the last however many years, that's not the case. They gave up caring about the game quite a long time ago compared to like the games that we used to get in terms of like,
Oh yeah, for
I don't
sure.
know, Black Ops 3 was probably like the
Very
last
good
like
game. Yeah.
yeah, very very good game in my opinion.
Yeah, I like Black Ops 4. I thought it was pretty solid. I don't know if it was like one of the greats, but I think that the quality's kind of dipped since then, like massively.
Yeah. I mean, even like the quality in terms of like graphics on BO4 was kind of a step down from some of the
Yeah, that's true.
previous games too. But like, I can't lie, the fact that they had blackout in the game and they were
Mhm.
experimenting their own way, that was actually one of the best things that I think I'd ever actually played. Besides, obviously Fortnite at the time was really big
Mhm.
and it just came out, but you know, they had something going with Blackout, and then they made Warzone. And I'm not a big fan of the way Warzone works. I'm still a big fan of the way Blackout was.
Yeah. Yeah, Warzone's just like a Call of Duty Fortnite. They
Yep,
kind of just gave up and said, "We're just going to copy paste that a little bit."
yep.
Uh yeah, for those of you just joining us, we're going into an invasion hardpoint and then after that into a Skidrow search and destroy. We're just waiting on one more player. Um hopefully he gets in here as soon as possible. That way we can actually get this thing going
We also
because it's starting late and we don't want it to start much later than this.
we also have Log Jam in the other chat as well.
Okay, I can drag him. Wait a minute. Oh boy, where is? Oh, that one. Okay. Pudding. Bam. It has been done. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, did I put him in here? Okay, I did. Just making sure.
after BO2 was a downfall will never be the same. I don't know, Vexy. I still had
That's
fun on a
early
lot of the
on.
other
Yeah, I
Call of
was gonna
Duties
say
after that.
BO2 is a rough marker to put it at. I
Yeah,
mean, you
and I ain't
can't.
gonna lie, like Advanced Warfare and stuff,
Ooh,
you
yeah.
know, those a lot of people kind of say those are bad CODs, but like I'm gonna be honest, at the time they were good. Like I mean, they still hold up. They're good
Mhm.
CODs compared to what we get now. Like
Yeah,
you know,
we just didn't
AW
know we
was a
had.
AW was a step into like something new with jet, with you know the whole jet system and you know the movement and everything, and like it was just something new and like it wasn't stale. You know what I mean? It's just it gave us a new outlook. It gave us new game modes. It gave us new possibilities and opportunities to play stuff in COD. So
Yeah, for sure. Um, I guess last thing we can do before hopefully we get into it is game predictions. I'm sure I know the way
Okay, guys, yeah, I'm here.
you're leaning. But what do you got? I mean, I can go first. From what I've
yeah.
seen, I don't. I'm I'm thinking a 3-2 somebody. I don't know who, but that's what I'm thinking. Look, we got everyone in here. So who do you got?
So I don't know. It's gonna be a very hard decision for me as well. You know, the 3-2 I can definitely see as well, just because you know these both teams are pretty much evenly matched on both hardpoint and S&D. You know, I don't know the control record off the top of my head, but I can tell you that a lot, you know, almost every team struggles on control. So, you know, but I can tell you for a fact the Dragons have a little bit of a struggle on control.
They're
So,
4-1 actually.
oh,
But
they're 4-1.
yeah,
All right. Well, in terms of gameplay, there's still some struggle
right,
within the
yeah,
game
for
itself.
sure.
So, you know, I'm saying I'm gonna still say that's gonna probably be one of the hardest game modes for them. Um, but you know, in terms of like who's gonna win this, it really could swing both ways.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true for these guys. Yay, ventilate's back. Let's go. Hopefully we're starting. Everyone's in here, so have to
Okay.
give it a minute. So yeah, did you guys want to just do it while the game's on, like the casting, and then I can come back in between? It's up to you guys. I don't really care
I'm not
one
really
way
for
or
sure
another.
what's going on actually, so I'm just kind of seeing what's the plan here. I just went live anyway, so
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think for
Yeah,
this
for
one, I
sure.
feel like we could probably be better if we did more, just because we can put our inputs all together, and you know.
Yeah, I mean I'm fine with whatever. But we are loading into the map, so let's get it.
So what would I do? What do I just go and like watch the live stream? Is that what I'm doing right now,
Uh,
Fives?
it's
Yeah,
in
you
the
can watch it.
Discord.
Pull up the live stream and just watch the live stream. We'll do like a
And
watch party
what like
idea.
yeah, like I just gotta set up my tabs and shit, but let me set up this real quick. And it's
Okay,
on
gotcha.
YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Let me go to
Oh,
Twitter,
alrighty.
click that link real quick.
So it's looking like New York is pretty much holding this first P1 down pretty nicely here.
Yeah, pretty hot start for them.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah, that
far
was a
so
nice little
good.
pre-fire, not being able to catch anybody off of that. That was, you know. So now if they can break them off of this, I really feel like they can hold this for the rest of the 20 seconds that are on here. There's already I see one on rotate for the Dragons. Oh, still getting taken off there by Munchkis too.
Yeah, you got to hit this rotation because with Kings having that side, it's going to be tough. This is one of the harder hills to break in this one.
Yeah, definitely. You know, if you have that P2 lockdown for 2 rotations, all you need is like a half of another, and you should pretty much, you know, pretty much can win the game that way. You know, that's kind of like Skidrow as well. If you lock down that P2, you got P2 for ever pretty much.
Yeah, and I mean, so far it's just they have no map control for the side of Dragons. I mean, it's tough. It's definitely not the easiest hill to approach breaking, unless you get a nice gifted spawn back palace, which they haven't really gotten. So probably gonna start shifting their focus to the next hill.
Yeah, that would be a good
Hey
play.
Fives, what's the YouTube channel called?
NC, just type in NC League.
Yeah, I mean, if you in Discord, you can watch it, and you'll be closer to what we're seeing. So.
Okay, so you're like sharing the screen right now?
Yeah, I'm sharing the screen right now.
Oh, I'm tripping, bro. I'm tripping hard. Okay.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Here, let me put this over here. Let me go to my stream real quick. I was trying to go to the YouTube.
Yeah, you'll just
Chat
be
was
so
cool.
behind if you're in the YouTube. So
Facts. Here we go, chat. We got it open here. Do a full screen here. Let me turn.
I was gonna say it might be a little on the blurry side though. So Discord's a little rough because I don't got that nitro crap.
Hey man, get some Vincord, my guy. I don't know if you know what Vincord is, but
no. I don't.
Well, let me see if I can.
So Vincord is like a plugin for Discord that allows you to like get like a nitro per se, and it's all free and stuff. So
hold on, chat.
Got you.
Yeah.
Chat.
For anybody that's gonna rat us out, we're just joking. It was just a joke, guys.
Yeah, we
just saying.
we don't believe in circumventing the system. But if you look, Dragons really held this hill down, able to take the lead from Kings. Good job out of them because they really needed that bounce back after those first two kind of bumpy hills to start.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've also noticed about Dragons is like they kind of start off very shaky, but if they can start, get warmed up in the map, that's also a very good thing for them as well. They can get a lot of kills off of that. And, it's happened more than once this season or this league season so far, where they, just came in and started beaming like halfway through the match and bounced back as well for like control.
Okay, chat, we're watching. Let me try to do this real quick so I can set it up right here. Boom, I got the split screen. Okay.
Yeah,
I got it unlocked.
This one's pretty close. I mean, really, no one's running away with it still. So, gonna have to set up for this next hill.
Yeah, this is a very close game. This is like, that P4 right there. I don't understand that thought process on where they put that P4. That P4 is very, very badly placed, in my opinion.
I don't mind the P4 if the P1 wasn't also like so scrappy
right there,
middle of the map. Like I think
the old P1 was just fine, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I wish they kept that old P1.
I don't know how I can.
Oh, that was a nice 2-piece right there by Rose for sure.
Yeah, and I mean they get the backs spawn and able to break pretty easily. So, man, this game's just so back and forth though.
Yeah, it is, and this is like what we love to see, not a lot of games actually can play out like this. And it's something that, a lot of people, there's something that a lot of people, like love to watch is the games that like go on like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we love to see close games. I think early on in the first couple majors, a lot of teams aren't fully prepared for the level of competition. So once they kind of gauge what's going on, they're gonna be able to do some recruiting. So hopefully we see a lot closer games going forward. But I mean, we definitely do have the 3 best teams left as of now.
Yeah, I cannot lie. These teams have been going completely crazy against each other, and they've been playing like absolute tanks. All of them, they're all units. I'm not gonna lie. So far from what I've seen with everybody, they're all shooters. They come in, swipe, get people off the point how they need to, and just continue to keep getting those points on the board. And it's just how it is.
Yeah, and looks like Dragon's going to go ahead and set up this P2 rotation. Good move from them. With the game this close, that scrap time's not really going to hurt you too bad. So, just got to make sure you keep this back spawn going forward. As you see number 4 on the map going for it.
Yeah, and, this is, like I said, this is a nice little lockdown. They can lock it down. Oh, they're gonna get that call out, and he almost just got taken out right there. That was almost a really good play right there. Yeah, see, Rose actually stepping up a little bit more today than where he was at yesterday. He's doing some of the sweeping, a little bit better than what he was yesterday. It's something that we love to see for sure.
Yeah, Munch actually having a bit of a slow game himself, and loading kind of popping off right now. I don't know what to say. He's going crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to say that, it's a slow start to the game just because these teams are so like highly skilled together that, is there actually a slow part to the game? You know what I mean? It's just
Right.
these teams are like, as we see right now, 150 to 145, which by the time this is done, it'll be 150 to 152 from what it looks like. And it's just kind of crazy.
Okay, chat. I don't know if you guys. I can't even hear the game sounds right now. There's literally no game sounds.
There may not be game sound in Discord. I don't know why there wouldn't be. There should. Okay then. This is an interesting break here from Minnesota. I think they're gonna be able to get it too.
Yeah. This is going to be, like we said, a very, very close game. I expect it. If it's going to be a loss or a win on either side, it's going to be within 10 points of each other. They're just, right now they're just holding the spawns, and it's kind of doing them pretty good. Now, the only problem is that next rotation is just going to be across the map, and just, we see here the Kings are already set up on that next rotation, which just hurts the Dragons. But if they can break them off this point and get on this point, they're just going to need to flip this spawn extremely fast.
Yeah, the nice part about this middle hill is it's so scrappy that I think both these teams, if they pretty much split it, you're in a good place. But you are getting down to the end there, so it's gonna be whoever's holding it. And oh, no game sound. Okay, I can fix the game sound. Oh, my bad. I literally had it muted. That's on me. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Okay.
Oh, that was a good kill off right there by Munchkis for sure.
Yeah, I just don't know who's gonna be able to get this advantage going into these final two hills. Maybe one. Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a close 2 point. Like I said, if it's gonna be a win on either side, it's just gonna be within a 10-point difference. Like this is just so back and forth right now that like it's literally like we're on hill, we're off hill, we're on hill, we're off hill, and it's just just that's how it's just gonna play out the rest of this time for sure.
Yeah, the back and forth has actually been pretty insane. Because usually somebody at this point definitely separates themselves, even if it's only a little bit. Right now it's been within 10 to 20, pretty much nonstop.
Yeah, and I mean this P5 so far has been kind of like the hold down for the Dragons, along with that P3, I believe. So I feel like the Dragons can hold down this P3 here. It looks like loading's actually about to break this right now. Let's see if he can. Oh, that was a crazy turn on.
Yeah,
very crazy turn on right there.
That was insane. And I mean, if you're New York, you need this. You need this break. Minnesota can win right now.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, so yeah, if they hold this for these last 20 seconds, this is a win right here. They need to get them off. And it looks like that was a three people down. So this could be a win right now for the Dragons here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see if anyone can even get there. I think that's it.
Yep, and there's the first win for the Dragons. That was a very, intense game, and the fact that it was actually a lot more distance than what I thought it would be, that was a really good game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, for sure. Take a look at some of these stats. I mean, there we go. Overall, just pretty solid from both sides. I don't see anyone really separating. A few rough games, but not like brutally bad.
Yeah,
kind of stayed pretty close together. So yeah, going up 1-0 is huge. Like I said, especially with New York being so insane at Search and Destroy. I think even if it's not even if Dragons can keep up in the search, you definitely want to get that first one on the board as quick as possible.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, with this new pickup on Hayden for the Dragons, this could be a very different pace for them. I mean, obviously, like we said, we've only seen him like once or twice, but just from watching last night and taking out, another team that was like extremely good at S&D and beating that team, the way that he was just cleaning up and mopping up, I feel like he could definitely do something here for this map 2 here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and going into an S&D, I'm gonna pull up the stats here. So yeah, 6-0 from New York Kings, 1.4 KD, 36 win to 13 loss round count as well. So they've been winning pretty solid. But for the side of Minnesota, 3-2 record, 1.28 KD, so nothing crazy bad there. 29 to 16 round count. So like I said, it's not like they're terrible at search, but Kings have really dominated search from every match I've seen this year. So I'm kind of worried a little bit for Dragons. I think this one, if they're able to take this search though, I think they set themselves up in a great position to go ahead and take this series.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, I still feel like there's probably going to be a map 4 here, regardless of the way that this S&D swings. Like I said, if we somehow pull off the control there, or not the control of the S&D, I definitely feel like the control will be a hard win for us as well. So, or both teams, honestly, because can you give me some stats on the control again?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and pull up the control stats. 5-1 for Kings, 4-1 for Dragons. I mean, round count, they both have lost 7 rounds. So, outside of that, they're pretty close. Dragons does have a higher KD with a 1.3. Kings only have a 1.03 there. So, that one's kind of just, they played one more game. So, that's kind of the really only upside for Kings right now in that mode. It's pretty tight. So,
yeah, so this is going to be a very hard win for either team. Control is just, one of those game modes that nobody actually likes either. So I mean, it's just, it's one of those things that you just want to wrap up and get over and done with as soon as possible because nobody wants to look at it.
Yeah, I've never really been a fan of Control outside of Black Ops Cold War. BO4 maybe, but like
I heard it was a lot more balanced on Cold War.
Definitely more balanced in the Black Ops games. Ever since then, it's just been downhill. I really wanted a CTF return this year. I know some people don't really like that, but I actually enjoyed watching that mode a lot. So
yeah, so CTF and headquarters, those would be the 2 returns I wish I could see for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if we're waiting on somebody or what exactly the holdup is.
Oh, it looks like one of the teams people left.
Yeah, I figured that was because he was gonna host. Is what I was thinking for that. But hey, I don't know all things, so yeah, Treyarch does put out the best titles. I think that one's pretty hard to debate.
Yeah, I mean, in the recent years, I would say they put out the best titles now. Like if you're talking about like back in the old time, back in the day, 2010, 2012, I still have to go with Infinity Ward. The original MW2, hands down, one of the best Call of Duties ever made, along with BO2. But as of recent, they have not been doing justice to the games for sure.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. Yeah, for sure. Somebody's getting iced. I don't know what's going on right now. Hopefully we're able to get into it though. I'm excited for the next one. I mean,
yeah,
the waiting around's kind of killing me.
I feel like this could be a really close search game. Not gonna lie.
Oh, some people.
Okay, guys, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So
this is the losers final, right? So we go from this up to the winners final?
Correct. Grand final.
The grand final, yep.
The grand final. And then who's in the grand final right now and the winners? The team that we lost to yesterday?
Yes, they are the one that advanced, and whoever wins this game goes back to that plays that team again.
And when
Like,
is
either
that
way,
game? Is that tomorrow?
Yes, that will be tomorrow.
Damn, that's exciting. Like it's just crazy weekend right now. I'm just all addicted to Call of Duty right now. I've been watching it all weekend.
So somebody in the chat just said a team member of the Kings had to restart his PC.
Yeah, it's always great.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, dude.
Gotta
Make sure
love
your
it.
PC has
Yeah,
fix your stuff, dude.
my COD game crashed earlier, and I lost 60 SR and ranked for no reason. So that's awesome.
Oh my dude, you don't even want to know the amount of times that happened to me on NW2. I was ready
I haven't
to throw my
even
PC out the window.
I haven't even played ranked yet. Like, oh man, I've only played like 1 or 2 games of ranked. Like, I don't have a 4 stack that's down to play a lot. So
Yeah,
I've been
Yeah,
you
doing
must
that.
be a lot happier than us then, because ranked
Oh
is
yeah,
yeah,
dude. Like my mental health is
absolutely
pretty good right
got me
now.
in the trenches these days. I am.
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel that for sure.
Solo queuing is not the vibe. Even when you're duo queuing, it's brutal. I mean, if you're not in a 3 or 4 stack, ranked play these days are not very fun.
That
Resets
is
PC comes back
100%
shooting
true.
better than ever. Yeah. Hey, guys, like I'm not talking that much right now because I just don't want to get in trouble, for making call outs and stuff. So I'm just
Yeah. Gotta stay out of
I
trouble
have
these
to be
days.
careful. I know I'm trying to be a good guy. What is that? Oh, my shit's fucked up. Okay. All right. We just vibing. I'm ready for tomorrow, actually. I think I'm gonna play some Call of Duty tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe tonight. I don't know.
Man, I don't know, that Pal World addiction has been something else. I'm not gonna lie.
Bruh.
That's been the
I got
game
the
that I
game.
needed in my life.
I downloaded it last night, so I'm down to play. I just need to get people to play it with me. And then I'm just gonna go downtown. Like some people don't like that style game, but I grew up with that kind of stuff. So like Pokemon and shit, that's my stuff right there. So
Yeah, Pokemon is
be
is the fact, Power World is just a whole different type of game that came out, and it's actually like a nice enjoyment and like relaxing to style game.
I'm just glad it's on Game Pass, so like I don't feel bad that if the game has to be taken down because of Pokemon suing them, I don't have to feel like I lost money.
I
I don't
can't
know anything's
either.
bad's gonna happen out of that, honestly, but I wouldn't think anyway.
Yeah, no, probably not.
I mean, how hard is it? I'm like, yeah, Pokemon came out first, but like anybody can make an animal, and it's gonna look like theirs. You know what I mean? Like they're just trying to get some money out of them. Probably
Yeah.
they saw that they made so much money in a day, or like in 5 days, that they're like, oh yeah, we could do that.
I mean,
Nah.
10 million at the end of the day too. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's actually cracked out of my. That's crazy.
Yeah, it looks like we got both people back in the lobby, and we're getting ready to go. So, yeah, where are we going? Skidrow, search and destroy. Skidrow.
Yeah.
Hey yo,
And it's very interesting. But almost every team prefers Skidrow over any other map. I don't know if you've ever noticed that or like saw that in the league, but
yeah, Skidrow's been played
on
a
Skidrow.
lot. Yeah, Dragons 2-0 on it. New York 1-0 on it. So somebody's getting their first loss on Skidrow today. Who will that be?
Yeah, this is gonna be a very close game, like I said, for sure.
See, make sure they're still on the same sides. Yeah. All right. I hate when the sides are swapped because it's so hard to lock in on who's doing what. It's a little
Yeah,
thing,
I
but
mean
it's very aggravating.
yeah.
Do. Man, there's one thing I've noticed with Call of Duty is between game times are insanely long for no reason. I rarely, if I am playing in like our old man league that I'm in, even that people chalk so much time away.
Yeah.
I just must be the only one with something else to do. I don't know.
We're supposed to be here, but we just chilling for like hours on end while we waiting for our next game, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I get sometimes they're fixing settings, so kind of have to deal with that. I do believe CDL modes in private matches are fixed, but I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard to trust those because they're just always so janky, like on
Hmm.
private match. And, I mean, I don't know if they had the same issue on W2, but that, the settings that they used to have over on W2 would just crash people's games most of the time. Like if you would start up, it would just crash instantly. Some people would get blue screens, and it was just a horrible mess over there on NW2 for the CDL settings.
Yeah, and as we say that, we're going into the map 2, so let's see how this one goes. I do like some Skidrow search and destroy gameplay, I will say.
Yeah, Skidrow was a very good back and forth game. It's just if you're on one side, you're very, very kind of you start off very strong depending on which side you're on. And that's the first kill right there for the Dragons, I believe. That's 2 getting dropped over there for the Kings here.
Yeah, that's definitely a tough start for the Kings as Frotz ends up in a 1v3. Let's see if he can find anything.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because before I didn't know if you know this about the Dragons. So they actually played in the league right before this one started up, and they were mainly a search and destroy team and had never really practiced or played respawns up until that point. And the fact that they actually do so good on respawns compared to other teams has actually blown my mind. Just the fact that of how they move, how they're they break people off of points and stuff. And like I said, just being a search and destroy team only before that, very, very interesting and crazy to watch. I'm not gonna lie. See the process from the beginning to now, it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a bit of a trick to start with, trying to get into a respawn mindset, but I think once you figure out the basics, you're usually pretty solid.
Yep. Looks like the Dragons are down one here. Oh, just barely missing that push right there. Oh, that was a good pickup right there.
Yeah, I mean, everything I'm seeing, and then they found another one. They got full site control. They're gonna get this bomb down? I believe so, so.
Yeah, these plays are very... I don't know. I'm trying to figure out some of the ways that they're watching here. So far both kills have been from pretty much the backs here. So yeah, I don't really know what's going on with the Kings right now. Just
Yeah, they seem a little out of sorts. It just looks like they're not playing teamwork, and now another 1v3, and he's gonna get taken down. So that's a tough start, especially with this being your big advantage game mode. Starting down 2-0, not devastating. 2-0 is not that bad, but you kind of have to step it up because you lost the offense and the defense. So.
yeah, and I mean, if you hit a 3-0, that's when you really want to be like, we need to lock in and get it back, But at a 3-0 gap, that's one that should be like a worried about type of deal, just because at that point you're halfway done, and if you're not being able to pick up or pull or push those rounds back, it's just you might lose a team like just falling apart there.
Yeah, and Raph/Rob is on a 4 streak. See if he can find anything else here.
Oh, that was a nice little peek there.
Yeah, and now another 1v3.
Oh, and that's going to be a call out for the bomb, too. I saw that he turned around and went back. Now they're just going to try and hold that bomb site, or the bomb down area right there.
Yeah, that's, it's been brutal for New York so far. The map count is 1-0 for Dragons. Man. I definitely didn't expect this for the side of Kings, I'll say that. Once again, just gotta figure out a bounce back. Gotta play. I think they play a little too individual. I've seen barely any trades right now. So,
Yeah,
2 players
most
on
of
a
them has
donut
been
as
kind
well.
of-
It's never good.
Yeah, most of it is kind of catching it on the back there. Like, the Kings are always kind of have their back turned, and getting kind of like swept up from behind there.
Yeah, and it actually looks like a tunnel hit for the side of Dragons this time.
which is actually kind of a good push. The fact that, you know, they're going to try and hit that full B rotate. Missing that guy standing right there, but it looks like they're going to kind of like mop him up right there.
Yeah, big gunfight coming down apartments.
Oh, and that was the first
win.
actual gunfight I think I saw right there from the apartments.
Slow play so far. Ew, that's a big gunfight for Munch to win that. I think that kept him off streaks. I may have, yeah, kept him off streaks too. So.
Oh, that was a good pickup there from Munch, and still getting taken out. That was a one-on-one situation here, and loading kind of a little bit behind on this play here.
Yeah, loading's just chilling. I mean, everything else is pretty crazy.
Like it's gonna be a B push here.
Yeah, but 1v1s are always a little different depending on what you get timing-wise and where you expect them to play.
Yeah, definitely.
My usual recommendation: get as close to bomb as you can and wait for the guy to check it. We'll see what he decides to do.
And who's last on the Dragons right now? Hayden?
Yeah, Hayden is last up.
Yeah, nah, this is the guy that you want to watch for sure. Usually Hayden, like this right now, can just stay alive and try and get his pickup, and that was a bad flash on his part.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're loading, you're running out of time.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Hayden knows that too, and he's going to challenge that and win that. That was a good hop on the bomb. He knew that he was probably being watched from that angle there, and he just kind of came in and swept it up there.
Yeah, and I mean, while we were watching Graph, Hayden got streaks. I think he's 6-0 right now.
Oh man, that's a very hard thing to let go there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that gunfight towards top apartments was huge, and I think you lose that one, you put yourself in a really big hole. Oh my, this is going to be interesting time.
Oh, that was a three-piece right off the break there. That was some very good sweep ups and cleans, and loading in a spot that I have not actually myself witnessed anybody use yet.
Yeah,
on this.
And
just getting swept up there too.
I've seen it before, but it rarely works out because you are exposed a little bit. It's kind of more of a bomb. If you got bomb down, works pretty well. But yeah, you're up 5-0 in Dragons. New York looking bad right now as far as your final or your first S&D loss, because I don't see how you're coming back from that one after this start.
Yeah, 5. They're Dragons up 5. You know, that's a very big gap right now. You know, one round left to win, and even if Kings were able to get 1 or 2 rounds, there's still a big bounce back that needs to happen before. And that nade was just taking out loading right there. That was pretty good nade, well placed.
Yeah, I mean, a full sail sweep is pretty unheard of in most times in COD. So.
Yeah, especially for the for what you said, the actual like stats were for that. It's kind of crazy to see that this is playing out this way.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess that just goes to show that a lot of the stats didn't really take into account what Hayden brings to the team now that he's on the roster. So.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, Hayden is the guy that if he's alive, you need to watch out. He is the guy that comes, cleans up, sweeps up. He's the whole cleaning crew. And that's just, the one thing about the Dragons that they have a huge advantage on with him.
Yeah, that being said, Rose in a 1v2 now. King's looking to get that first round on the board. See how he plays this. Oh, able to win that good.
Oh, and that was a good gunfight right there.
Huge win there. So, if you're Kings, you need this bad. Oh, just unfortunate.
I think he's getting shot from the back there. That would be my first way. I would, if I was playing the bomb, I would be having my face turned to those stairs. Those are the main stairs that, anybody would come up from if they're down bottom most of the time. I mean, even with that little cutout right there going down to the basement, it's just looking that way is always helpful. I mean, granted, he still has to drop the bomb, but
Yeah, we're gonna see how this starts playing out. I don't know what Kings are gonna try to mix up. Looks like they're being pretty aggressive though to start.
oh yeah, Dragon's down on 3-on-2 situation here. And see, this is the thing, right? They started stepping it up, and this is when they start losing it. They try to rush it a little fast, and as you saw, they dropped 2 bodies there. But the fact that this is a 2-on-1, this is gonna be a very very close game right now, or very close round. I feel like loading could still bring it back for sure, depending on. But it looks like they're watching bomb. He knows where bomb is.
I was gonna say, I mean,
and he just went and peeked that, and let's see if he can get it. Nope, he knows where he is. He's got the call out, and he's gonna get rushed, and he's just gonna lose that gunfight going 6-0, 6-1. I'm sorry.
yeah, I mean, Kings just threw their lives away. I thought they had the advantage and a chance, to get another round on the board. Obviously, the more rounds you put on a team that's up big, gonna maybe make them a little nervous. But yeah, it's not meant to be, and that's a 2-0 start there. Been pretty dominant on the search. The hard point was super close, but that one not so much. And what map are we going to? I believe it's an invasion. Yeah, an invasion control. So both these teams even on that one. 2-0 edge to Dragons. You think they close it out here? Or do you think Kings able to take it to a map 4?
I ain't gonna lie, I could see this going to a map 4. Just because control is a harder game mode for the Dragons. Now I'm not saying it's a weakness by any means, but it really depends on which way the game swings at the first round. Usually the first round we can tell where the Dragons will be at for the control game. It's kind of one of those easy reads when it comes to control for them. So
yeah, I've noticed that as well. I mean, while both these teams are balanced, it seems like Dragons often win in 3-2 kind of fashion, which you're still winning. Don't get me wrong, but it's a different kind of game mode. I think you gotta have a really good foundation as a teamwork basis goes. So with Hayden stepping in, I don't know if that will cause problems or maybe they perform a little better. It's kind of like you said, you never really know until you find out, I guess. Overall stats though, like we said, the only difference is one less game for the side of Dragons in a control. But yeah, both teams really solid on it, at least from a statistical standpoint. So, gonna be interesting. Kings need it. I mean, this is losers final. You lose this map, you lose a map from here till the end of the series. You go home. So.
Yeah, so I mean, this is gonna be a very harsh one for them if they lose just a 3-0 right there.
Yeah, I mean, especially after looking so good all tournament long, you hate to end your tournament with a 3-0.
Yeah, definitely. Especially since they, been making waves all the way to where they are now. That's just harsh loss for sure.
Yeah, harsh loss, and I mean, either of these teams gonna have a task in tomorrow, so I mean, I guess a reverse sweep is a huge momentum shift for them going into tomorrow, but they're gonna have to start stepping it up in the slaying category, not to mention everything else. So we're getting into this map. I'm excited to see how it kind of shakes out.
So yeah, so off the break here, this is on this map specifically. Obviously, A is the easier one to capture if you can hold it down. But the biggest part is about this game mode is just the fact of lives. For the most part, once one team starts taking lives and getting up on the leaderboard, the kill feed, you just see lives start going and draining insanely fast. As you see right now, 28 to 22 already, and the game pretty much just started less than 20 seconds ago, and it's just crazy that like right now they have them in the spawn trap, and if they just continue to take these lives off, this is an easy win for the Dragons for sure.
Yes, defense is definitely heavy favored in this game, specifically for control. Spawn traps are just so brutal in this game. I mean, it's near impossible to get out of, especially on this map. Not a whole lot of places you can actually go.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Especially like now you see that they're pushing that A side. As you see, the buys are just dropping right now for the Kings. And it's looking like the Dragons are just having the better gunny all around right now on this control map. And 16 seconds left for this time, and they're just locking it down. They're literally keeping them so far off the point that they can't even contest it right now. And that's looking like it's gonna be a round one here for the Dragons.
Yeah, and Graf's absolutely popping off. Wow. That was a dominant defense, but now they're on the offense. If you're Kings, you need this defense. You need to do just as good, if not. I don't think you can do better. I don't think they got a tick on the board, so you need this one back.
I don't even think they actually touched the point at all that entire first round there.
No, that was dominant. It just looks like Dragons, everything's been going good for them so far. They're feeling it in the gunny, so just playing confident right now.
Oh, and did not mean knocked it over. And they're already just hitting that B very, very strong, and they're already taking the ticks over. It looks like, what is that, a 4-person stack over here on B?
Yeah, I think they got B pretty much locked up if they can win these gunfights, and they are able to do so. So King's gonna have to shift their focus.
Yeah, it's looking like the Kings are already giving up on the B side right now. So they're all on the transition every day right now, except for that one trying to catch anybody kind of lurking around.
Yeah, and that's a smart move, especially when you're struggling a little bit in the slaying. You got to step up the slaying, though.
Yeah, and right now, if you get that first point, once you lock down one of the control points, if you lock it down as fast as they do, they have an entire 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And this is something that they can completely wipe lives on if they play it smart enough.
Yeah. Yeah, is Munch moving? Yeah, it looked like he lagged out there for a minute, but I think he's fine, so. Maybe just a weird gameplay decision. I don't know whether he was playing that.
Yeah, and it's looking like they're trying to push the spawn trap here, and I don't know if they're gonna be able to get that spawn trap. It's not looking like they're just gonna get killed off right now. Oh, that was some good shots on the tank right there from Frauds, if I said that correctly.
Yeah, I think it's Frauds. I don't know. They're just getting a good bit of map control here. If you're Kings, this is solid, but there's still time. They capped that B so fast that you gotta hold it for almost a whole another minute. So
yeah, the only thing they have to worry about is lives. That's it. And it's looking like the Kings only have 1 life up compared to what they have, and they're gonna try and be on the spawn trap now. And if that's a good call out, there's a chance that they can break that. Oh, and it's looking like they're trying to flip it right now. Yeah, Hayden's going to come up behind and try to mop that up right now. And that's a good place to hide. You're still going to get them spawning out right there. And, they're going to 2-stack this. If they can get a 4-stack on this, it looks like 3 down for the Kings. If they can 3-stack this, then, they can definitely win this right here.
Yeah, Kings kind of putting themselves in a rough situation. 2 gunfights do go their way, and the third, so...
Oh, yeah, and that's the second tick, too, which is, that's big for the Dragons right now. Getting that second tick on and only need 1 more tick. They only got 32 seconds to complete it. But if they can kill it, if they can get 4 bodies off of this, then they can hit that A very fast and get those mop-ups and kills for sure.
Yeah, Dragons need to stack. Kings only need to hold on for 20 more seconds. So really kind of be a battle of who's getting this map control and who's able to hold on for a little while longer. They do get on the point, able to win the first one.
Oh, and that's gonna be, is that gonna be a cap though? That's a real question. And they just fell short, just barely.
Yeah, that was I mean, they had a good chance to get that cap though. That was not
if they had
very
one
far
more
off.
person to come and step on, I feel like they could have been a cap for sure.
Yeah, I think that,
and that's
that was
like
a gunfight
round
away,
2.
so. Hey, I mean, King's making it more of a battle here, but I mean, overall, you're down now 5 ticks. That's a brutal one because you're gonna have to figure out offense at some point. I think for them, they're hoping maybe this one coming up take a 2-1 edge, but they are able to get the equalizer 1-1. I think they needed that one. I mean, the search being as brutal as it was, they needed something to bring back some momentum their way.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. You know, this is.
Looks like a B hit, actually, so...
Well, he's gonna come right there. It's gonna get mopped up, and Frost is already gonna hit that B side again on the second tick, and it's looking like the Dragons are a little bit slow on that rotation to push over to that B and get them off here.
Yeah, I think there's just such a worry about A because it's so hard to capture once it gets down to it that you don't want to give up B, but at the same time, you know that if you give up anything at A, you're putting yourself in a hole, so...
Yeah, that is definitely the truth right there, you know, and you know, if you give up A, B is just, you know, it's gonna be a very hard one to cap, you know. So a lot of teams try to go for the B first just because, you know, they want to get the hardest point out the way first and drop those bodies over there versus going somewhere easy that they can lock down and hold.
And you look, Brian is in their spawn, so I don't know how he got through, but this is a pretty decent chance here for Kings to stack this point if they're able to get a few more kills up front.
Oh, that was a good take right there. It's looking like this could be actual A capture here. You know?
I mean,
it's gonna be a 4-stack going on.
It's a 4-stack, and Dragons aren't really in a position to get them off of it. I mean,
yeah, wow. They lost all the map control right here on this map here.
Yeah, that was shocking because when they gave up B, I was like, all right, they're going to hold that A side down. But Brian's able to sneak through and just stay alive until his teammates could win gunfights up front. And I mean, a 4-stack is so quick that you really have one chance to react to it. And Dragon's just not able to do that there. So Kings, I mean, they did what they had to. Got that control offense round. Let's see how Dragons respond. Get the offense themselves. They were pretty close last time, minus a last-minute gunfight here or there. So.
Oh, it's like they're going for A push right now, as looks like the Kings had actually anticipated a B push there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be a nice little swipe over right there.
I like that call. I mean, you get on A, able to get it quick. I mean, you're in a great spot.
Oh, and now that was some horrible aim right there. I don't know what was going on with that aim, but if you saw that, it was all over the place.
It's windy out there.
yeah, it was very windy. Missed that. Oh, and that was a good turn on right there.
It's just a hurricane season, maybe. We don't know.
Oh, and he just barely getting in the point right there. That was a very good step on the point, getting that stun right there. Let's see if he can get this kill for anybody that's going to push that.
Good
win. Oh, Mushy's taking that kill off.
Yeah.
Very close on that second tick. You know, if I was the Dragons, I would be pushing that B side right now since they completely have A locked down. You know, all they have is this front of the tank to worry about from what it looks like on the minimap.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, someone creeping up here.
At what point you got to hit B, and it looks like that is going to be the play call now. I think that's a smart move because A is tough, and you're running out of time. You just want to reset, get yourself an extra minute here if you can. But Kings are ready for it. I mean, they're here. They're not giving it up easy.
Yeah, definitely. You know, this is going to be a very close one. You know, this is looking like this actually might be a Kings win for sure here.
Yeah, I think somebody's on A, actually. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, it was looking like it was, and there goes the time, yep.
So now, I mean, it's now or never for Dragons. Gotta hop it. Gotta stack it, really, because...
Yeah, I mean, if you get this stack and you get all, you can, get more time to push that second point here. And I mean, it's looking like they're holding us down pretty good right now so far. We're getting that stun right there on the point from the Kings right there.
Yeah, and if you see, somebody is also on A. I mean, they might get A right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like the Kings completely shifted the focus over to B and just left Hayden over here by himself. You know, one of the better gunnies when he actually can aim and shoot. And is he gonna get taken off? Oh my gosh, no, that's gonna be that's very close. And they're still fighting tooth and nail right now to try and capture one of these points. And it looks like they might actually end up capping B here.
I think they did B, and with those 2 ticks at A from Hayden, I mean that's a clutch that's a clutch play, because now all you need is 1 stack. But that being said, the lives are kind of lopsided at the moment. Gonna have to play for a few kills before you hop anything.
Yeah, I mean, what they really need to play for right now, I mean, even if you can see what the Kings are doing, they're just trying to play back and just, you know, hold the time. You know, I mean, Kings don't really have to push or play anything right here as long as they're, you know, just keeping them away from point. They can take lives or just play time at this moment.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're Dragons, this is like a search and destroy. I mean, you got to get picks. And those are, every life is so crucial.
Yeah, it is. You know, if you play control too fast, you end up like in S&D. You know, the way I always look at control is like, if you're playing it like an advanced search and destroy. You know what I mean? If you're wiping lives, then, you know, you don't ever, you know, obviously you're gonna have to cap a point at some point in time, but, you know, just taking lives off the board is a big hit. You know, you can win off of that every single time.
Yeah, and I mean, Dragons with that strong start out, I guess some of those control concerns you had kind of popped up there towards the end of that one. And if you're Kings, you can stay alive. I mean, straight up, simple as that. This is, every map from here on out is for the tournament. So, if your Dragons want to shut them down on this hard point, I mean, in my opinion, you look dominant in that search, so you're not too concerned if it goes to it. But you always want to, you never want to let the momentum shift a whole 2 maps, in my opinion, one way or another. Whether you go up 2-0 or 2-0 to start, or let them bring it back 2-2. So
yeah, so now, you know, now we're going to the 4th map here, Terminal Hardpoint. You know, this is, like I said, this is gonna be a very, very hard map. You know, if you get the spawns first, you know, you can pretty much win off of that. Just, you know, there's such a big disadvantage here on Terminal that, you know, right off the rip, holding it for 60 seconds, you know, either team that starts over there is at a very high disadvantage.
Yeah, I thought we were going right into it, but looks like they are gonna end it. Maybe they had the sides mixed up. Whoever wants good side is gonna want it, because especially on Terminal, good side's kind of hard to determine because you flip kind of easily back security, and that back security spawn is a sticky one for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you know, that's the spawn that you want to hold, because that spawn takes up 3 of the points. You know, there's only 2 points that you really want to spawn Eskies, and, you know, even then, you really don't want to spawn Eskies. You just want to hold the points, just because, you know, like I said, 3 of those spawns are security dominant. You know. Yeah,
and I mean, hardpoint stats, as we said before that map 1, are pretty solid on the side of Minnesota. So, looking for a close one here. That first hardpoint was actually phenomenal. So,
so what's your prediction on this map 4 here?
Part of me wants to see a game 5. I know that would probably make you a little more nervous than you'd like to be, but I love a game 5. So honestly, I'm rooting for the Kings, but at the same time, I just want to see a good map here. I mean, last one was so great. I just want to see something similar.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, map 5 would be nice to see, you know, especially on another search and destroy. As you see right now, the Dragon's already just taking that point, and like, as you see right now, you just can't push it. You know, they're locking down the points, and like, there's nowhere really to come from if you got one watching the back side of library and front side of library. you guys are just kind of screwed on that P1. You know, it's like I said, that's pretty much a full lockdown, 60 seconds for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, definitely back security used to be a little more of an advantage before they moved this to back eskies for P2. I don't know. I was gonna say, if you're able to hold P1 from the front, which is not really a big deal because it's so scrappy, but this P2 can be a pretty big money hill if you know how to hold it right.
Yeah, definitely.
As I say that pops, and I don't see things having any map control, and they're gonna get broken.
Yeah, and they're just gonna get broken. Yeah, that was a big break right there. And as you see, you know, just the dragons, especially on a map like Terminal, where everything is just such a one-sided. Like I've said before, it's just, you know, you get broken and you keep getting broken. This map is gonna be an easy win for one team. You know, like I said, it's just very one-sided no matter how you look at it. And right now, you know, King's hopping back on the point, which is good. But, you know, just getting broke immediately again. You know, it's looking like they're already on a P3 rotate over here. You know, giving up pretty much a whole extra 30 seconds, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at this point, though, you need this hold. So,
yeah, I mean, P3 is, you know, P3 could be a hard hold, too. I'm sorry, I had to sneeze. So yeah, no, P3 could be a very hard hold too. You know, if you're not, you know, able to get like good like angles or positioning right there, you know, just to watch and hold it down. You know, that's a very hard hold. And as you see right now, they're trying to flip the spawns over there so that they get dominant control for that P3 as well.
Yeah, I mean, as you say that, I mean, Hayden just gets right through the back and deals pretty much a pretty brutal blow here for this hold. I mean, there's still time, as you see, able to get back in, but I mean, that was kind of one you needed almost all of it to get back in the game.
Yeah, now it's looking like some people are kind of hitting that rotate over to P4 right now. You know, 20 seconds left, not a big deal for the Dragons from what it's looking like. They would rather have that Burger Town, you know. Burger Town, one of the hardest spots on this map to break off. Oh, and just barely getting caught right there. That was a very, very, I don't know how you stayed alive on that, to be honest with you. And as you see now, they're going to hold this dominant control here for this Burger Town.
Yeah, and I was going to say, with Kings re-breaking that one, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it's a good call because now you got Burger Town spawns, back security spawns, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and, you know, this is the one part that I just, you know, it's hard to say because, you know, the expansion of this point out to as far as it was, you know, if you can hold it, you know, you just contest it. No, neither team gets points, and you know it's a good contest. You know what I mean? It's just, and it's kind of looking like they're trying to go for a P5 transition already. They knew they lost that Burger Town. They won that P5.
Yeah,
but it's looking like they kind of held some of that back. You know. I mean, that's the thing, though. You know, if you're locked down on Burger Town, you know, there's no shot that you're going to be able to break anybody off of that just because of the way the Burger Town's set up. So, you know, the fact that they're going to go ahead and hit that transition and go to that P5 is actually a good call and a good move on their part.
Yeah, and I mean, that being said, Kings, you get yourself back in the game to a degree. So, good job for them because it was looking pretty dire there for a little bit. I was thinking it was about to get real brutal. And if you're Dragons, you need a hold, right?
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's looking like he's getting kind of swarmed right now from the plane and from top AC. Yeah, he just got swarmed by himself. You know, by himself. He had no help, no control, nothing there from any of the other players on the Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to wonder a little bit what happened to. I mean, they had such good holds the first two hills and breaks. I mean.
Yeah, and it's looking like the Kings are trying to push that spawn flip right now.
I think they're gonna get it too. Yeah. Wow, I mean, this is a complete 180 from what we were just watching. I mean, a few hills ago.
Yeah. You know, this could definitely be a map 5, like you said. You know, this is a complete like change from when the game first started to now, you know, and now they're in the dominant position that if they're holding this P1, you know, it's pretty much a single lockdown. You know, there's no way that they're going to be able to be broken off of this P1. and they should probably start looking for a P2 rotate if they want to flip the game again. You know.
Yeah, you worst case here is you play a little too aggressive for P1 and flip out right as the next hill pops. You want to make sure you're playing smart. It's tough to be getting streaked a little bit on the last like 2 hills, but I mean you definitely don't want to lose this P2. It looks like they are going to rotate, ventilate, going to hold this top AC side. One of the larger power positions here. Able to find one.
Oh, that was a good nade on the Chinese part there. And it's looking like they have the disadvantage on spawns for the Kings here. And it's looking like they're just going to hold that. And coming in way too fast there.
Yeah, I mean, Dragons overall, I mean, did a good job on that rotation sequence. Able to make sure they locked it down and, you know, didn't lose too much over that P1 side, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like they're starting to regain the map control here. You know, they're trying to come back together. Now the question is, are they gonna be able to flip these spawns on that P3? It looks like there's one challenge by himself over there on the backside of a library.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting sequence with only 20 seconds left on hold. Who's gonna go for these back security spawns for the side of Dragons?
It's looking like Ventilate's going to be the one that's going to try and push these spawns out. You know, now, is he going to be able to? That's a good question. You know, this is one of the harder spawns to break, for sure.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to these backside gunfights, as usual. Number 1, who's got Robo, he's kind of still flirting with the front of the field there, but backside's huge.
And that was the... You know, this is a very close game for sure. You know, only about a 10-point difference right now. And, you know, it's looking like the Dragons are just kind of getting swept under the rug right now in terms of, like, you know, the kill feed looks.
Yeah, and, I mean, from what we saw initially, they're just not breaking as easily as they were before. So, I think they're going to want to make sure they hold. Because they held that P2 down very well, but their breaks have looked a little suspect. You need this big burger count hold right now. Yeah,
and you know they're gonna need to definitely push those security spawns to get that back on the P1 after the P5. You know, their best bet would be to send like 3 and then flip it. Oh, and that's gonna be a big kill right there.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna get the hit marker, and they're gonna get a 3. He's gonna get 3 push right there with no help from anybody from the Dragons. You know,
yeah, Dragons just gone too far out, and I mean, there's nothing you can do. There's no way you're 3-piece in that kind of push. So, Dragons, you just gotta hit to the front, try to sneak through library, get somebody in a good position to break this.
Yeah, and this could actually be a very close map win right here to for the Kings.
Yeah, but I mean, good news. Well, if you contest this, they can't win on it. So I think he's got enough time to break it down. But bad news, you got a long way to go to bring this back. And yeah, I won't say back or this plain tarmac hill isn't that easy to hold. It's definitely one of the harder ones because of just how open it is.
Yeah, it's definitely all position and map control that's going to hold this P5.
Yeah, position. You gotta win some of these 2 gunfights. You don't need all this time. You just can't really let them have any of it. So, kind of an interesting stalemate now. Nobody really willing to get on that point.
Yeah, they're kind of just like waiting to see what's going to happen. Oh, there goes one sliding onto the point. Oh, he's going to get hit on the leg and still get taken off on that type AC. Rosam's getting stuck on the front of the truck there. Oh, and no call out.
Yeah, that's an interesting setup, and I think Kings are going to be just saying, let's hit this P1. Let's get ready.
Yeah, I mean this P1 could be a win for them for sure.
Yeah,
you know they have about
very hard to
the Dragons have about 7 seconds to push this P1 and break them off to even hold it. So.
And you got to go right through the front door. Always the hardest way to break P1 on this one.
Yeah, and it's looking like they're not even gonna try and contest it right now. There goes one. Let's see if they can get him off. Oh, and they're going to 3-push that. Oh, and Munchy's taking them all out. Let's see how fast the Dragons can get there to help Hayden right now. Hayden's still by himself, and Hayden's going to get taken out there.
Yeah, back and forth. But if you're Kings, you can rotate, or you can try to hit this hold late. Because, I mean, Dragons have to do a little bit of both. It's such a delicate balance at this point in the game when you're this far down of how you're going to play it. But somebody's going to
18 seconds left. And it's looking like, the Kings are already on that P2. And, if there's nobody that's going to be able to rotate easy for the Kings, for the Dragons, this could be a map 4 win right here for the Kings.
Yeah, they got to win number 3, closest one, not going to be able to do it. And yeah, like you just said, that's a Kings map 4 win. That was another great hard point. Both teams kind of had their moments there, and kind of like I said in the pregame, it's such a streaky game. It's like very odd. Whoever's going kind of just keeps going. These hills get chained so easily, it seems like. But great work out of both those teams. And we go to a map 5 where, let's be a little honest, the search wasn't that close. Minnesota dominated. But
what's this next map for search?
Let's go ahead and see the map. I gotta pull it up. It's a Karachi, actually. So I do have each team's map records. Let me go ahead and find it. So New York 2-0 on it, and Minnesota is 1-1. So slight edge to the side of New York. But based on what we saw, once again, that was probably without Hayden. So far, he's been the difference in the searches. I don't know if he's gonna stay the difference here in this final map. It's a tough one. I'm glad I got the game 5, but I still really don't know who is gonna take this one. Let's go ahead and take another look at loading number. Let's go. Let's see. Somebody's messaging me. I don't know that Plaus. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't do the vetoes, so you're gonna have to ask those guys. Yeah. So loading / blurs 1.24 search KD. Ventilate on the side of Minnesota a 1.05. But Hayden, I didn't really put his search KD in because he only played once, other than the one earlier. But he's pretty much dominated every search he's been in so far. So I expect nothing less here in this final map. This is for the tournament, obviously, so big one coming up. Go ahead and leave the score up for everyone to take a look at. I don't know if we're switching hosts. Oh, I got kicked out. Oh, no. I think they're switching hosts. But yeah, so 2-2. Tournament on the line here. I think I know who you got, but what are you thinking going into this last one?
I don't know. Based on the last one, that last S&D, it's a very close call for sure.
Yeah, I think it's been well, if you would have asked me 2 rounds ago, I probably would have told you that Minnesota would win, but they did not play well in control or that well in hard points, so it's kind of up in the air right now. I'm excited to see how this search is going to go, though, honestly.
Yeah, the fact that we're even getting map 5 is awesome. It's very rare that you see map 5. It's been a lot of 3-0s this league. A lot of teams just in general around this Call of Duty has been getting 3-0'd, and it's gonna be a rare year to see map 5s for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams who figured it out early are pretty solid at it. So it's gonna be interesting. I don't really know what to expect here. Karachi is a weird search. It's It kind of swings one way or the other, usually. Who works around the bomb sites best? Usually B's the favorite to hold, but it's going to come down to good teamwork. I mean, you get one smoke per team. Who uses your smokes good? Who's able to get that map position? What ARs are holding the power positions? I'm excited to see it because Skidrow is definitely a quicker search, in my opinion, than this one.
Yeah, I mean that could be a big reason why a lot of teams go for Skidrow, just because it's a nice, easy, fast sweep and done type of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, I'd rather, for me anyway, I would much rather have this map than Invasion, but I'm just more familiar with that map, or Skid Row. I'm more familiar with that, so. Well, specifically Karachi anyway, but I do like the maps they have picked for uh, this league right now for all the ranked maps and stuff. But I'm pretty excited about this. This season's been pretty cool so far in general, not just like professionals, but like all the leagues I've been watching are really been really good and competitive, which is really good. Shows that the passion and stuff's out there still, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's gonna be exciting to see. It's like determining what sides they want to be on, and we're gonna get into this final map. So, Karachi search. All right. I'm giving the edge to Minnesota because of what I saw in that Skid Row. But I expect a close one. I would not be shocked if we see around 11 here in the search.
Yeah,
No,
definitely.
I would
This could be I mean, they went to around 11 yesterday, and against the Wolves, and that was just a shock on the win for the Dragons against them.
Yeah, I mean the Wolves are a whole nother discussion for whoever wins this, but I mean these teams have been doing it this whole start of the season, so I'm excited to see this absolute bang out of a final map.
And that's 2 down right there.
Yeah,
right off the break, pretty much 3 down, and this is gonna be a 4-on-1 situation here.
Yeah, I mean,
not knowing. And there goes that call out for Frotz for sure.
Yeah, Frotz
is gonna try and hold his spawn. At this point,
yeah, he's going through it.
He doesn't. At this point, they don't.
Yeah,
at this point, the Dragons don't even need to push. All they need to do is watch both the bomb sites. And what is that? It's looking like bomb is down on what top red? No, bottom red here.
Yeah, I think that's red.
Yeah.
And I mean, Dragons kind of keeping a lot of what they started going. Frotz not able to.
And that's gonna be a take out there.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, Dragon said, let's start fast, and I honestly love that play. They just work their trades in. I mean, they didn't need trades that round, but they just work their teamwork very well. Able to get team shots in a lot. In New York, so far in this, both searches haven't done that. I think they need to start looking at how they're partnered up and making sure they're getting trades here. Search is always so intense too on this game.
Yes, it is. I can definitely agree with that. Search is just like one of those game modes that it's just like, it builds suspense while you watch, you know what I mean? Like, it just has so much suspense to it that, that's going to be one right there. And, I guess he got a call out from a top there. Bryanson, missing that just barely. Going to get him from shot from behind, but he's still going to stay alive, and he's going to get shot from the side there. That was a good take right there from the Dragons. Loading to try and push this. They know that the bomb's on B. And that was a good pickup right there by Loading for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, with bomb down, it's going to be all the pressures on New York here.
And that's going to be another take, and it's going to be a 2-on-1. And Loading barely managing to stay alive there, almost taking out, I don't know who that is in the back. It's looking like Shiny, I'm pretty sure. Rose up top third there. He's kind of in a pinch right here. He's going to go for the defuse, but he's just going to get taken out by Rose.
Yeah, tough spot there. Brian really needs to win that one. I mean, he had that guy dead to rights, shoot him in the back. I think that really would have changed around here. But I mean, King's just really struggling right now. If you look at the side of Dragons, I mean, Shiny, Rose kind of being the leaders right now, as far as we can see. Hayden, I expect to step up here as well, so Kings kind of have to bring the heat on this next couple rounds.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, as long as all four are alive, Hayden, you're not going to see shine as much just because, he's not put in that pressure intense situation. And I think Hayden is better under those tense situations just because he knows how to slow it down just a little bit, take it up, and then like sweep it up,
Yeah, and back and forth come the trades. Munch finds one,
Yep.
Brian finds one. It's a 1v2 now for Graf.
Yeah,
Oof.
and Graf knowing that they're gonna be on that B site, and I don't know if he's gonna try and push us back. It looks like he's might actually try and push top third here.
Yeah, I don't mind the play, but bomb does go down. B bomb is notoriously hard to get defused on this particular map because top bridge is just such a power position. See what he's able to find here.
Yeah, it's not looking like bomb is put down either. He doesn't even have to push this right now, which he's going to anyway. Which he doesn't, this is just gonna be a very bad push. Like he did not need to push that. They had the defense and they did not need to.
Bomb was down, actually.
Oh, was down?
Yeah, he got it down. But
oh, I just saw the red time still going for 20 seconds. But
yeah, no, bomb was down. I think he took a little bit of a long route, left himself without a lot of time. But there's really no good play there. I mean, that back hit is your best bet because if you can shoot somebody in the back that's not ready for you to be in their spawn, it's definitely a tough situation. Being put in a 1v2 situation early on like that.
And now the Kings are going to be able, going up one on the board. This is going to be. It's looking like they're all kind of pushing this B side. It's going to be pretty much a 3-person push on each side. And let's see who can get mopped up here on either side. It's looking like it's already a 3-on-3 situation here. And Wyanson's already in the spawn here.
Yeah, this is kind of just crazy back and forth. But I think both these teams are aware that if you get bombed down on B, you are almost set for the round. So just kind of who finds who here. I mean, trades back and forth. See, loading. I think he jumped over a guy, actually. I'm kind of
he did. He barely missed him when he did the jump over there. And see, this is some of the things about search that also kind of drives me crazy. Instead of just taking that extra 1 second to make sure that they're going to get the kill, they kind of just jump the gun on some of the triggers. And as you see, they get away pretty easy. I don't know if you've ever noticed that in some of the search games. Like if you take this and then kind of translate it over to the pros, you can kind of see that they kind of take just an extra second just to make sure they're going to get the kill versus, getting hit and then, almost getting turned on like how, just almost happened there.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sense in rushing a kill. Especially in a search. I think for search, you kind of have to rely on your teammates. I get hard points sometimes if there's like 2 people pushing a hill. You want to get kind of turned crazy and start spinning around and stuff. But yeah, there, I don't know if you're willing to risk that. But Dragons walk away with the round. Was pretty crazy. I mean, that was like almost all in that back B kind of area. See if anyone decides to push A here. Gonna be kind of the B's been the favorite. I don't know what King's play call is gonna be here.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna go try and like just rush this middle of that B side there. This is apparently there was a nade off on loading there, so they might have a call. Don't know where he went, but that was still a call that they could have probably picked up on. And I see Frost has gotten a kill on Shiny there.
Yeah, this is an interesting spot for loading. I mean, I've seen it before, but I mean.
Yeah, and it's looking like he might think he's up there.
Ooh. I mean, he's able to find one.
That was a good takeout.
Yeah, good kill.
Yeah, that's one person you definitely need to take out from there. That position was Frotz not actually knowing where that one is, and Rose getting taken out there, leaving Graf on that 1v2. Oh, and is Graf gonna get it? He's gonna get those kills. Oh my god. That was a crazy play.
I don't know why Munch flew at him like he's Superman. I think your better play is you have an AR, take the gunfight on the ground. I mean,
yeah, I mean, especially with where he was on that, where he was on that high ground too. He has such a better advantage on that. You know, as far back as he was playing on that roof, he definitely had the head glitch advantage there. And you know, the fact that he tried to jump on and take him. Maybe because maybe he was damaged, but either way, that was still a good mop up and kill and round for that win there.
Yeah, I mean, you're not Superman. I don't know. That's just such a weird decision for me. I don't really get that one at all. With that being said, you're not out of it, but 4-1 is definitely a better look for the side of Dragons than a 2-3. So that's a huge gunfight win. Great 1v2 for Graf there.
And as you see, both teams are starting to slow it down a little bit. You know, they kind of starting to realize that they've played a little bit too fast against each other, and they just want to kind of slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, I think
Rose knows he's there.
That's pretty expected for the, with the tournament on the line all on this map, especially for New York. I mean, you need this.
Yeah, Frost is going to kind of try and come around here. Oh, and Shiny getting that kill there.
It's like Bomb's gonna try
that was some good shots right there on Frotz from whoever was up top. I think it was Rose, I believe. Oh, and this is gonna be a 2-push up top third here. Is Rose gonna not? Oh, Rose's gonna get taken out there, leaving it on 3-on-1 situation. And it's looking like Hayden's going to be the last one. And this is the one that you always want to watch out for. Hayden is the one that can mop it up for sure if he needs to. He can definitely hears him on the roof.
This is your guy. And able to get a freebie on Bomb. But the guy on the roof might be a problem. See if he's able to get this. Not able to.
Oh, and Hayden just barely missing that.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, I thought his positioning was good. Like you said, he kind of thrives in those situations, just kind of a few bullets off of making that happen. Because if he wins that one in top, I mean, that guy is just going to not be able to hop on. Close one.
Yeah,
much needed
I'm not going to lie. The guy... if Hayden had won that, the guy that was closest to Bomb probably wouldn't have even touched it just because he knew he probably would have got killed off. Mm-hmm. The advantage Hayden had on that head glitch if he would have won that fight was just astronomical compared to where he was on the ground. You definitely say this Karachi search and destroy is a lot closer.
Yeah, I mean, each round has been so back and forth compared to the other ones. It's just it's very intense. I mean, you can tell both teams have just decided to slow everything down.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're on the defensive side, there's no sense in pushing so fast on the offensive side, I mean, pretty much the game mode and objective is just play it slow and let them come to you. You know what I mean? And if you're just gonna try and play that too fast, you're just gonna get taken off as the defenders every single time. And Hayden just in a spot that nobody would expect. Ooh. Oh, and getting dropped down on there by Frotz. So that was a good play by Frotz.
Him looking down. So. But yeah, like you said, that spot was that was a wild spot.
Oh, and are they going to keep him off for the allotted time here? I mean, it looks like he gave the call out to where they would be, and I guarantee he is not. Oh, good punches there. Is he going to get the next kill? He does not, but it leaves him on a 2-on-2 situation here. Bomb down. Oh, and that's a good kill by Graf right there from Frotz.
Yeah, now it's a 1v1 for Munch versus who's left? Graf. Oh my. Okay.
And that was, he saw the shots coming through the door, but still tried to defuse the bomb. I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams at this point in the game know where to plant that bomb, or you can shoot right through the door. So I think Graf probably, he had time to hunt that kill. So it's interesting he decided to jump it. And it's 3-4 now as far as the map count goes. This one's getting close. I think if you're Dragons, you want this offense, but kind of have to make sure you play it smart. And we finally saw an A bomb plant, even if that wasn't the initial site. So.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing right now is trying to get these the map control here, and it's looking like Shiny's going to come up behind him, go ahead and take that one kill. He knows the second one's up there on the bridge, and it's looking like there might be a wraparound here on Shiny, and he's not going to pick up on. Oh, there's no wraparound. He's actually going to try and play the top of church there, and Lodi come up with that top third, going to go ahead and wipe him out. And I don't know if they gave comms about that top third there, but this is going to be a crazy fast play. Saw him run out. And he's going to go ahead and throw his life away there on the B bomb if there was no call out.
I don't know.
And that's going to be a B plant there.
Yeah, I don't. This is playing out very.
And that's a loss for him.
Yeah, but getting bomb down is so huge here.
Oh, and that was almost a good nade right there. Oh, and that's a good kill right there by Munchkis. All they have to do is keep him off the bomb just long enough, and that's going to be a kill for Shiny. Yeah. And I don't know what Shiny's doing. That's going to be I thought he was on. I thought I saw him jump down. That was my fault. That was a misread on the board there. And Shiny just kind of standing out in the open. Oh, it looks like the bomb time is avoided.
I was going to say he can't get it, so, I mean, Shiny did his job.
Yeah, that's the type of plays you want. If you can't kill the guy, you just need to keep him off the bomb. That's all you need.
Yeah, and I mean this is series point here. 5-3 now. We're all aware of the 5-3 curse. This is an actual 5-3 curse example, but the way Dragons are right now, gonna be interesting to see. King's gonna have to mix something up here to be able to get this win.
Yeah. I mean, it's from what we've seen right now, it looks like the Dragons are just playing.
What a nade.
Oh, that was such a good nade, and looks like they're gonna streak it. And this might be a two-person kill with the cruise missile here, or no wipeouts. Maybe that was some good call-outs that he could have got there. And being on a 4-on-2 situation, they don't even know if they really want to push anywhere right now. They kind of want to see who comes to them. Just, which is a good play, just, in terms of, they might get antsy and push. But, what are you going to do when we're already 2 down at the start of a round?
Right. I mean, what a nade from Rose. I mean, that's probably one of the more clutch nades I've ever seen. And, yeah, 2v4, got to find something, and it's got to be now. Brian gets taken down.
And there goes the next, and this is going to be and there we go, and that's a map 5.
Yeah. Congratulations to the Dragons. They're going back up to see the Stormwolves now. I mean, what a search, though. That nade was something else. I mean, wow.
Yeah, that nade was insane right there. That was such a clean nade, just to take 2 off and just wipe that up. That was, that they could not have asked for a more well-placed nade right there.
Yeah, and I mean, great job overall. Do you know if anyone from Dragons would want to do a post-game interview real quick, or if not, it's all good. We don't require anything like that, but I'm willing to do one real quick if they are. So,
holy cow!
What a round! What a nade! I mean, just what a series overall. When they went up 2-0, I was like, oh, this is going to be a 3-0 slam show, especially after that first round of control. But, I mean, Kings really did a great job locking in and bringing it back. Just kind of unfortunate there for them in that search. I think a lot of things could have went differently.
All right, we have Rob that's about to come in.
Okay. Go ahead and just tell him join one of the open ones, and I'll drag him in. as per usual. Let me know when he's in.
Okay, chat. 1 second.
All right, here he is. How's it going, Rob?
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good. You guys, I mean, able to find the map 5 victory, going back up to grand finals. Just first of all, how you guys feeling after that one going into tomorrow?
Personally, we could have done way better. We trolled a lot of rounds on search. The last game, control completely trolled. But other than that, we're feeling good.
Yeah, I mean,
We're
you guys
feeling good.
you guys go up 2-0. And then they start bringing it back, one map, two maps, going into that map 5. What's the vibes kind of like after, starting off so hot and then letting them kind of back into the series? And how do you guys
Uh, the,
overcome that?
the main thing I focus on with my team is telling everyone that it's all about mindset, and if everyone loses their mind right before the game, no one's gonna win, right? So it was just pretty quiet, but other than that, I think everyone was just focusing up, listening to music, locking in, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Huge 1v2. That guy flew at you like like he was Superman. Were you kind of shocked he flew at you? And great play on that, getting through and able to get that round. That was a huge one.
I mean, I knew he was up there, so I was ready to aim there no matter what. So, I mean, the fact that he jumped at me was definitely not a good play, but
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was
I knew he
interesting
was
for
up
sure.
there, so I knew I was supposed to pre-aim up there. But other than that, that was definitely an interesting play out of him.
Yeah,
We
for
also
sure.
had one of our teammates with a broken controller, so that was also rough.
Yeah.
Hayden, I don't know if you were able to see
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah, there was a few times where we were watching his aim was a little all over
yeah,
the place.
yeah, his stick drift's really bad. It's broken, so he
Ooh.
can't even aim.
Yeah, that's tough. It is late, so I'm gonna just ask one more thing. You guys playing Stormwolves? Obviously, you lost in winners final to those guys. What do you guys plan on doing to make it a different scenario? Obviously, 2 best of 5s you're gonna have to take to get the tournament victory. So yeah.
I think we're gonna come out hot and with a 3-0 and shit on them. So
Okay. Well, I love the mindset. You guys are looking great, and look forward to seeing the grand finals. Good work, guys.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any final thoughts from you guys before I go ahead and end the stream? Obviously a great one.
Yeah, this is obviously a really good game. Seeing the map 5 is something that everybody always wants to see. It's it's just back and forth the whole entire game, pretty much. Control being a wishy washy one. Dragons taking the points the first time on offense, locking down the defense. Kings, also locking it down on both sides and being able to come out with that win was a very big thing for them. And then that terminal hard point to bring Kings back into it was definitely another step up for them as well to bring them back in.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it was a great match. Yeah,
Yeah, so
definitely worth watching.
you guys got them again, or got Stormwolves again tomorrow. It's going to be a pretty big matchup, so I'm excited to see if they're able to fix what went wrong the first time they played, and going into it. Do you guys, I mean, I know you're a little biased, but you guys think they're able to? What is your outlook for tomorrow before I go ahead and close things out?
Well, for me, after watching them play, they need to work on their control game. Obviously, tonight wasn't a very strong control map, so I think that's something they need to look at, learning how to figure out, watching their bodies, how many lives they got left, and don't push crazy all the time and stuff like that. If they can get ahead of control, I think they'll be okay because they're good at hard point and they're really good at search. So if they can just get that mindset down, then they'll be okay, I think.
Yeah. So from the game that we watched yesterday, if we're going off of that, the hard points are going to be the first one, depending on the map, is going to be very close, and then the search and destroy was also a very close one, going to around 11 yesterday. So I mean, realistically, these two teams are so good that they're just going to swing back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, I fully expect it to be super close. Once again, thank you guys for stopping by and doing the broadcast. I think it went well, and I'm excited to see how tomorrow goes. And yeah, thank everyone who stopped by to watch, and I hope you guys enjoyed the close series. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got from me. And we'll see you tomorrow in the grand final.